Hi everyone, it is Holly here in marketing at Flippa. Today I'm here with the owner of Stay Uncle, which is a marketplace business that's currently for sale on Flippa. It's a 4-year-old online hotel booking platform for unmarried couples, and it has over 1,000 registered hotels across 45 cities in India where it operates. I'm joined here today by the owner of the business, Blaise Arizanoff, who's going to tell us a little bit more about Stay Uncle. So thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Holly, for the lovely intro. And hi, everyone. It's great to be here today.
Perfect. Can you just tell us a little bit about the business, about how this concept came about and what exactly Stay Uncle does?
Yeah, so I assume for many who are listening this, I assume when you said hotel for couples, they might find it a bit weird. How can it be like a dedicated concept like hotels for couples? But yes, there is. Like we're talking about India, where booking a hotel as an unmarried couple in particular is a huge cultural taboo. Why? Because if you appear with your boyfriend or girlfriend in a hotel, you just want to spend like a night together or like even a couple of hours. And the common scenario that happens all over India is that you're being asked by a marriage certificate at the reception, which is just absurd. And unless you guys are married, supposedly, you're not supposed to get in. They won't allow you because it's considered immoral. It's considered Western decadent kind of an import. They say things like, if you guys love each other so much, why don't you just marry if you're not going to get married? So that means you're just here for sex. And as I said, it's absurd, but it's India. And at the same time, it's like the country with the youngest portion of young people in the world below 35. And that means huge. Now imagine this is a problem being suffered on an absurd ground, but at the same time being suffered by tens of thousands of people every day. And when I got that figured out, I was like, oh my gosh, we're potentially sitting maybe on a golden mine here. So let's do something about it.
Yeah, it's amazing. You've really identified a niche. It's a very entrepreneurial business that you have. Can you tell us how the platform makes money?
Right. So we are still, after all, a traditional hotel booking portal wherein we get like a typical marketplace. We get suppliers on one side and we generate demand on the other side. Yeah. And a typical way for a marketplace to generate money is by margin. So we basically get the hotel inventory at one price and then we resell them at another price. So when it comes to hotel aggregators, typically in India, because it's like a highly competitive discount-ridden industry, one can rarely go like applying margin above say 10%. Yeah. Like that's like even like super optimistic. But in our case, we're able to go not just 10, but 15 and even 20% margin to our room price. Why? Because we're solving such a peculiar problem, which entails a huge element of trust and scrutiny. So like for a service, which is like which has so many things that matter, like security, like privacy, whether I'll be judged at the reception, whether someone will scold me, whether someone will attack me for doing this. Like people just cannot trust any vendor. They can just trust one person, like one specialist for this service, which is Stay Uncle at the moment in India. And on the basis of such, we're able to apply this premium price because we are a premium brand at the moment when it comes to hospitality in India.
Yeah, absolutely. Really interesting. Yeah, 15% margin. That's really impressive. So if somebody was interested in buying this business, what current opportunities are there for a prospective buyer with Stay Uncle?
Right. So first of all, we have been covering so far around 45 cities. Yeah. But this is like just a fraction, just a small, like a tip of the iceberg of like the potential, the whole size of the addressable market. These 46 cities are basically like what they are being dubbed as Tier 1 and some Tier 2 cities, which means that they're like big metropolitan cities where like the larger chunk of the urban India lives. Yeah. But we haven't even started touching so-called India 2 and even India 3, which is like the smaller towns of India, which count by the hundreds. Yeah. And that is where the problem of couples not being able to get themselves privacy is even more severe. Because in urban India, things are still like slightly more progressive. Like these taboos are not that common the way they are in the more rural India. So the first opportunity that a potential buyer can get is just to keep expanding the business and getting even further into the market, like especially attacking the smaller towns, which no one covers at the moment, not even us. So there's a huge moat lying there, which waits to be conquered. That's the first basically source of lucrative revenue which a buyer can get.
Yeah.
The second one is to sort of introduce upselling of various lifestyle goods. What does it mean? I'll give you an example. In Japan, which is basically the birthplace of love hotels, one of the major revenue lines for these boutique standalone love hotels is product placement. What does it mean? Like the hotel gets its revenues up, like from booking, of course, but also that hotel contacts various like manufacturers, for example, of all sorts of goods, including lifestyle goods and all the way to technology goods. Like a love hotel in Japan can be seen promoting the latest gaming gadgets, Nintendos, for example, because the user base of these hotels is like mainly like young people, young population, which are also interested in various like lifestyle goods or gaming goods. So these hotels even partner with technology companies who provide them this sort of a product placement gig, where these technology or all sorts of companies place their goods for exhibition at the very least, so that they can get spotted whenever there are customers, there are guests coming to these hotels. So to summarize, two major revenue opportunities are lying ahead. Number one is just keep expanding the business into like more and more of rural India, the smaller town India. And number two, introducing product placement, wherein a person can partner with like all sorts of companies and get an arrangement to place their products into the hotels for exposure, for exhibition, and get paid for that, of course.
Yeah, awesome. So so I guess expansion, and then also the opportunity for product placement. Now, the final question that I wanted to ask you today, Blaise, which is one that I know a lot of our viewers will be interested in, is what is the reason behind selling this 4-year-old marketplace business?
Absolutely. So the first reason, that's like a very personal reason to me, is the fact that when I have started, like when I decided to start a company on my own, I have sort of given this vow that it's going to be a quintessential model of a startup company. And we know what a startup is, a company designed to grow fast. Yeah. And we used to grow exponentially fast in the first 2 years, although that growth has been like slightly like slowing down in the third year, like for the past 9 months in particular. And one of the reasons for that is that we basically lack the capital to grow exponentially the way we used at the beginning. And when we don't have the capital for expansion, you can grow only this fast when it comes to organic growth.
Yeah.
And well, there are like people on Flippa.com for which this will be like no issue. They're like typical value type investors, which will have no problem against a company growing a mere like 5 or 10% as such. For me, this is something which I wouldn't like. I wouldn't like see myself running. See, I don't see myself running a lifestyle company, which is why I would like to sort of pass it on to someone who is like more happy to run a lifestyle type of business, while I keep on pursuing opportunities which are like fast-paced and with large coefficient of growth potentially. So that's why I'm selling the company, because it somehow feels like it's turning into a lifestyle business nowadays in absence of growth capital. And this is something this is the kind of company which I personally don't see myself running for the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you so much for coming on today and speaking with me. For anyone watching, I will include a link to this business listing on Flippa in either the description or the comments. Really think you should check it out. It's definitely one of my favorite business listings that we have on the platform at the moment. It's entrepreneurial, it's different, and it's like nothing else that we've seen come up for sale recently. So if you're keen to check it out, just click the link. Thanks, guys, and thank you, Blaise.
Thank you, Holly.